Welcome back, boys, to the Buds Mafia podcast. On today's episode, we recap Jackson's Bachelor party weekend, which was a lot of fun. We do our Masters draft as well. Get into the NHL news, some firings. We talk about the Tkachuks as usual, our usual segment of the Tkachuks. And then we talk about the Wild East playoff race as well as the West, kind of who we see staying and who we see leaving. Talk about Matthews and Brady, their future contracts. And then we get into the debacle of the worst Leafs press conference we've ever seen with Keith Pelley, my favorite human being. Brad Treliving is gone. And we break down who the next GM could be. A little bit of NFL news, but then, we get into the Masters draft, our favorites, as well as our betting segments. Go comment, like, subscribe. Let's get into the episode.
Tavares coming out, sends it in a goal. They score! They score! Holy mackerel, they score! Morgan Riley! Mo Riley! The Leafs have won it! They're going to the second round! Gonna run for it, he got it! And there he goes! Inside the 10, the 5! Oh, the play of the year in the NFL!
Welcome back, everyone, to episode 63 of the Buds Mafia podcast. Nice little Monday morning action for you after a very fun weekend up at Jackson's Cottage for his bachelor party. We can dive maybe a little bit into that. Can't talk about it too much, but it's a lot of fun, a lot of drinks. Feeling a little better now. The drive home was pretty good. Like, the drive home was quick. There was zero traffic. I wasn't hungover really at all. They shout out to No Days Wasted. Please sponsor us. Those pills are ridiculously good. I never feel hungover. But I was just tired as hell. And I also I just felt gross too. Like, after all the chips and everything. We actually ate, besides like the chips, like the food we had was really good.
We didn't eat that bad.
We had the lunch or we had pizza for lunch the one day, but that pizza was really good. And then I made the steaks with the salad. Next day we had the pasta salad. We all pretty much got sandwiches for lunch the one day we had that. But it was the chips throughout the day. Kind of made me feel a bit gross, but we're back at
one
it.
point, Ryan had 4 bags of chips on his chest, just laying on the couch.
It was unbelievable. It was probably my 4 favorite chip flavors too.
Sitting there, I can pick whatever one I want.
It was like stacked on my belly, like, this is phenomenal. This is phenomenal. That might have been my draft, but yeah, it was an awesome weekend. It was nice to meet your boys. You described them perfectly, I would say. You said Jimmy's the dog, and he was the dog.
Yeah, Jimmy's the dog.
Yeah, it was nice to see Jacob and Cole. It's always nice to see your brother and your dad. And the simulator was a lot of fun. And I kind of agree that it made sense that we only had the one screen. I actually kind of liked that more.
Yeah,
it
was
more time to chill.
Fun.
And yeah. But yeah, man, a lot of stuff to get into. I mean, this is our last pod before the playoffs. So this is kind of going to be, most teams are like at 77, 76 games. So we can talk about the race we just talked about before recording. Philly is now in the playoffs, which is awesome.
Yeah, wild.
A lot more teams have clinched, but this must be the closest we've gotten to playoffs with the fewest teams clinched.
I was going to say, it's got to be the
There's
fewest.
like 5 games left with like only like 5 teams clinched. Montreal just clinched yesterday because I think Detroit lost.
Montreal clinched.
Gutting lost to
in the East.
Gutted lost to Minnesota.
In the East, it's the Lightning, the Sabres, the Canadiens, and the Hurricanes.
Shout out Buffalo, baby.
And then in the West, in the West, it's literally just the Avalanche, the Stars, and the Wild.
It's just essential. That's all it is. Not even we'll get into that. Not a lot of NFL news, but it's Masters week, so I'm very, very pumped for that. I'm happy I can work from home. I'm just sit on the couch with my laptop, do work, and just watch the Masters. We get more into that draft. I won again, so now I'm crawling my way back 4-6. We still got ways to go. How about you start off? It was your bachelor party week. How about you start off with our draft?
My weekend.
Jump? It was your week. Not anymore, though. But
not anymore, no. I didn't really have much for. Well, I told you what I was going to dump, but I don't really know if I want to dump that anymore.
I kind of forget it, to be honest.
I think it was robots.
I don't remember the reasoning, but I remember it was like a random, we're still definitely Buzz at that point. You said robots. I'm like, why the fuck are you dumping robots?
You know what? I think March Madness has been good. I think maybe I'm just not super into basketball. But the last 2 games, I was asleep for most of the games and didn't want to watch the other one, apparently. But I don't know.
Led Zeppelin documentary was on. What are you talking
about? We're watching Becoming Led Zeppelin. Well, I was listening to it with my eyes closed. But I don't know. It just feels like there maybe wasn't as much. Maybe I'm just not into it as much, and it's not on my algorithm as much. It doesn't feel like it was all there this year. I feel like there wasn't as much hype around it and stuff.
If that Duke UConn game never happened, it wouldn't have been. It would have been a pretty bad March. I think that game kind of carried it.
I feel like there wasn't a lot of other than like maybe High Point beating
Wisconsin.
I can't remember who that. Yeah, Wisconsin early on.
Again, that was definitely an upset. But Wisconsin was the 5th seed, so it's not. That's definitely an upset, but it's not like you know,
it's not crazy.
A 2-3-1 losing. But yeah,
that's better than me dumping robots.
I mean, I'm going to draft. Well, you know what? Fuck, I'll draft Kyle Forgard.
Wow.
As he supports the program. I mean, this has kind of been a whirlwind. We've had a few videos I've done really well. The Montreal one, hyped up the contracts. That one that's kicked off. That one got 100 followers on Instagram for that. And that was our highest viewing Instagram video with, I think it almost got 100,000 views. And then us chirping the Tkachuk meet and greet. That's almost at 200,000 views. We got like 150 followers from that. TikTok, it blew up too. We have over 1,500 followers on TikTok. Almost 800 now on Instagram. I think 2 weeks ago we were at 500. So, I mean, it's been really cool. And we were literally in the middle of beer pong. The buzz was starting to come. And then I see Kyle with a blue check mark. And I was like, wait, is that who I think it is? And it's Kyle Forward from Narc. I mean, I don't watch Nelk a ton nowadays. I was big in the Nelk growing up, but I still see their clips. And he's a good Mississauga boy. So I thought that was really cool. Put on a story.
I just followed
awesome.
it. Did you see his latest Instagram post?
No, what was it?
His latest Instagram post. He wants to become a scratch golfer by August because he's playing in the Internet Invitational. He wants.
Oh, is he?
That's
hilarious.
Get down to 10% body fat. He's running the 7 marathons in 7 countries in 7 days or something like that.
Well, he ran 100 miles for this chair I think for his granddad. I think he ran like 100 miles.
So that's what kick started it. But like, dude, the next year, this guy's just gonna be absolute fucking on a grind. Yeah,
well, he's been on a fitness grind. Like he's pretty. I don't say he's yoked now, but he's in like he definitely grinds. But yeah, that was really cool, and I appreciate all the love from everyone. Shout out to Caesar too. I love Caesar, the Florida Panthers fan. He's on Spin Chicklets. He wasn't happy. I basically just call us haters, which I mean I've never. Hey, my niche is Leaf Spaz, Tkachuk hater. That's my niche. That's what I talk about. That's
a tight market
for sure. And yeah, you just call this haters. Which I've never shied away from that. I still love Caesar. I didn't comment anything back because I used to be, I used to be terrible. I used to comment back at every single person. But now, which is a good thing, now there's too many people. I can't comment back at everyone. Also, cool clothing brand followed us and she commented back, what's the name of the brand? It's, I just had it. Maybe that's a partnership we can do. Mama, verified on Instagram. She does like cool like hockey swag and stuff. There's almost 7,000 followers on Instagram. So I'd love to talk with her. But yeah, because we want to, I mean, we've been doing this for a year and a half now. So, I mean, we know it's a slow grind. We both have full-time jobs. This is kind of like we'll do it for fun and see where it takes us. But obviously, if we can get certain deals, like I said, no days wasted. That was also going to be my draft. Those fucking things are incredible. But certain like that, I'd love to get some apparel. I know. I had some left over for my brother's wedding. Nah, never. But yeah. Well, to be honest, your dad also brought like 100 water bottles, and I think we went through all of them. Like the boys were hydrated.
Dude, it was a problem. It was a problem. There was a lot of things that were going on that needed required hydration.
Yes. I don't know if you have anything. I think we should get
let's get
into it. A few news. I mean, we're going to talk about the playoff race because, again, this is the last kind of episode we have till we can actually next episode we'll be able to talk about most matchups, maybe not all of them, but I think we can get a good idea of it. We may have to do a little bit of a record on a Tuesday to make sure we get all of the ones for sure. Because I think last year we did a full video of like our predictions and some of them just ended up being wrong.
We ended up being so wrong.
Yeah. All right. So a lot of things. Speaking of Tkachuks, a lot of things went on with on their podcast, the Wingmen podcast. They had their dad on, Keith Tkachuk, who's known to just kind of let it fly. And he talked about injuries and he talked about, just people being sissies, all that stuff. And a snippet went out of just Keith Tkachuk saying, I can't, whatever, making fun of people not being able to play, all my pinky toe hurts, stuff like that. And people just saw that clip and Ottawa fans went livid. They thought they were talking about Ullmark. We'll get into Ullmark. And much as I hate to defend the Tkachuks, he was actually talking about the Florida Panthers. Like he was directed that at Matthew and all the injuries Matthew and the Florida Panthers have. And people thought like, oh, Brady's gone. He didn't stick up and say anything. But he was clearly talking about Florida Panthers. I think he literally even he pointed, like the seconds before that, he pointed at Matthew and then talked about that.
I know it's being a little bit pick me, dude.
Yeah, it's easy to kind of, see that snippet and say that. Before I was going to run with it, but then I actually saw more of the details. Okay, I can't just like spread false. But the thing with Ullmark is, it's tough, right? Because he had, he took a leave from the game for mental reasons. Seemed like he's doing better, but I think it was a big game against Tampa. Couldn't play the back-to-back. He said he needed a rest. It was not available to start the Saturday game following a shootout loss to Pittsburgh, and I think they got absolutely smoked. There's been Chicklets guys, they really tried to tiptoe around it without also saying their opinion, because again, like a guy who's had mental health issues, hopefully he's doing better. It's kind of hard to maybe beat on a guy, but he also made the points like, man, you're the guy. You're making over $8 million. You're the starting goalie they traded for, signing the big deal. It's like big divisional win. I think they're in the playoff picture right now. It's like they need you, and I understand. Like you got to worry about yourself 100%. It's kind of a stigma in the game and special sports right now. But at certain points, like you got to be the guy. Like they need someone. If they can't rely on you, but it's a tough situation to kind of talk yourself around.
Well, it's just tough as this time of year. They're at 90. I think they're in the first wild card spot, and the Flyers are in the second. They both have 90 points. But then you have the Islanders at 89, the Blue Jackets at 88, and the Red Wings at 88 too.
Yeah.
So it's like considering everything.
Yeah. Like we're big advocates for mental health, and I think one of my buddies who I went to school with in Ottawa, he's a big Senators fan. He says he had no problem with it at all because it's just players don't really worry about themselves that much anymore, right? And it's just like they really should. It's a whole thing. It's like everything's for the team. You got to die for your team, stuff like that, which for sure, like that's a lot of like the Florida Panthers, these types of teams do. But it's like you got to worry about yourself. And if you're not going to be good, then how can you expect to perform at the highest level?
Yeah, exactly.
But the Yandel and other Chicklets boys, they were definitely on. Like, you got to play. You got to show up. Like, but dude, you never know how he's doing behind
the last
doors.
5 games. They play the Lightning tomorrow, the Panthers Thursday, the Islanders Saturday, the Devils Sunday, and then the Leafs on Wednesday.
It's a gauntlet. That's a gauntlet. I mean,
and like the last time they played the Panthers, but last time they played the Panthers, they got whooped 6-3.
And that was Ullmark's first game back. It was like he led in 4 goals on like 16 shots. Yeah. But yeah, hopefully he's doing okay. I mean, we'll get into the playoff race like a little bit more, but like that's definitely a topic of conversation. College hockey, Frozen 4, but CHL playoffs are also going on too, and a lot of rumors about Landon Dupont. I don't know if you know too much about him, but he was a WHL exceptional status defenseman. He's basically the Bedard of defense in WHL. He was a plus 60 this year. Defenseman, he had 75 points in 60 games. Like he's the first overall pick next year. Like he's a stud. And there's rumors of him going to college, which obviously I think that's like 100%. Like it's same thing with McKenna.
Yeah,
like you dominated. Money. You have to go make money, but also you did all you can here. Yes, you're still going to get better in the CHL, but I mean, there's rumors of him going to Michigan, which would be awesome. I can't see for the foreseeable future having the first overall pick or maybe a top 3, top 5 pick getting drafted from the CHL. I think it's going to be so rare nowadays. Like in the top 5, Chase Reed is a guy who plays for Sioux Greyhounds, but he's like kind of a fringe 5, 6, 7 guy. But like McKenna, first overall. Stenberg plays in the Swedish Pro League. 3 could be Keaton Verhoff, plays for North Dakota. I can't see a guy coming to the CHL going first overall anymore. I
feel like we talked about it a lot too. Like you're going and playing, especially university, unless these kids are going straight. They're playing 1 year and going straight to the league. Like you're playing against guys who are a lot older. You're getting a different type of
McKenna struggled, right?
You're getting
like
a different type of competition.
CHL, yeah.
Exactly. So I think you can look like a star. I don't know. It's the same thing. Like when I was getting recruited for football, it's like you're a big fish in a little pond when you're like the best player in high school, and then when you get into fucking university or anywhere else, you're just same size as everyone else, dude.
You're probably a little fish. Needs to work. You need to work its way up.
You know what? We don't need to.
Oh, the same thing. No.
Yeah. Okay.
You start from the bottom. You start from the bottom. There's no leeway. It's like, yeah. And look at McKenna. He struggled at the beginning of the season, and I think it was good that he went through those struggles because then he dominated. I mean, my opinion, he dominated World Juniors. I know that wasn't the result they wanted. Yeah. And since post, I think there was like a few episodes ago we talked about it. He had like 20 points in like 5 games.
Yeah, since after the World Juniors and then everything after that, like he's been on a tear.
Knocking out a kid for making fun of his mom, man.
All right, here we go.
Yep. Well, that's a boy. But yeah, so that'd be awesome for Landon Dupont. He plays for Everett right now. They're already swept the first round. I think the Memorial Cup's in Kelowna, I think. So yeah, I don't watch the CHL playoffs, but I like seeing what's going on. I think Flint and Hamilton, Flint was playing another team, and in 3 games, Flint scored 30 goals. I think they scored 10 goals a game. Some of these OHL or CHL playoffs are hilarious. Like
I do like watching them.
No, it's fun. It's cool. Like I remember watching the finals last year of London with Easton County versus Medicine Hat with McKenna. It was sick. By the way, Medicine Hat's still really good. They have a of course, they have a Montreal drafted defenseman on Mezzanat who has almost 50 goals as a defenseman. So, yeah, they're doing good. Now, this happened on the drive home, and you texted me. Peter DeBoer comes in.
This was so wild.
Waugh. This is crazy. 4 games left. 4 games
They got
left.
4 losses in a row, and you're like on the brink of either making the playoffs or not. But I was a little shocked.
Like, I thought Patrick Waugh had been great, and he's a goalie coach. You have one of the best goalies in the world who's likely going to win the Vezina. You have a young generational superstar defenseman. Like, you don't want too much turnover with that. I think he had a good relationship with Patrick Waugh. I mean, Patrick Waugh's playing him 30 minutes a game.
Yeah, like
is Peter DeBoer now going to keep playing him that much? I'm sure he will. I think, again, by the way, Peter DeBoer, probably the highest sought-off coach in the market. So, I mean, it's not bad, but it's like, it's interesting.
Playing this late in the season, like, you're not completely changing and implementing a brand new scheme. No, you have fucking 4 games left. You're not going to change a bunch. But at the same time, I mean, going from, I would say Patrick Waugh's like a good coach to, you know, an even better coach. So
yeah, it was interesting.
Just seems a little weird.
They had a tough loss to Philly, which we watched on Friday. They lost to Carolina. They beat Carolina, which is a huge game on Saturday. That's a massive win. Now they play Toronto on Thursday. Oh my God. So they have a 4-day break. They play Toronto on Thursday at 6:45. That's interesting. So we'll give them that one. At least we'll give them that one. Then they play Ottawa on Saturday. That's a huge game for the wild card implications.
They play
Montreal,
Toronto,
Carolina.
Ottawa, Montreal, Carolina. Good.
Yeah, and then what's Phillies? Because Philly is the team that's just past them. I'm so excited. I love when it's down. I remember last year, I think it was Montreal versus Detroit in the final game, like win and get in almost. It was unbelievable. Philadelphia Flyers schedule. They play Devils tomorrow. Got to win that. Oh my God. Detroit on Thursday. That's Detroit season right there. That's both their seasons, but that's Detroit season right there. Then Winnipeg, then Carolina, and they end the season against Montreal. So holy tits. Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, it definitely
gauntlet for all the teams in the East.
Yeah. Well, that's what they always try to play in that, right? It's awesome. But yeah, definitely interesting. Didn't see that coming. I thought the Tortorella one made a lot more sense than this one. I thought Patrick was a great coach. There's 2 years left on his contract, but again, Peter DeBoer is probably the highest like sought after coach in the market, and I know Leaf fans wanted him.
Everyone was saying Marner was going to shit his pants when Tortorella got there. Gets his first hat trick as a Vegas Golden Knight.
It was disgusting hat trick.
Yeah,
his third goal.
Gross.
His third goal is so gross. Last thing before we get to the playoff race, this was talked about. I think Mike Rupp talked about this on the broadcast. He says both Brady Tkachuk and Austin Matthews, he's almost guaranteed neither of them are going to finish out their contract with their team. If you had to pick out one of them to finish out their contract, who would you pick?
Probably Brady.
You think Brady's more likely to finish a contract than Matthews?
I don't know. I feel like what the Senators have going on right now, this is just my opinion. I feel like what they have going on right now, they're like not young, but younger, got a little bit more
they
of
have
a
great
push
core.
for
They have
playoffs.
a great core guys. Yeah.
Leafs have made the playoffs like 9 years in a row. Nothing's come from it other than like getting to the second round twice. I feel like if you're Brady, you're more likely to,
the team to keep getting better, keep doing more. Yeah, I mean,
I feel like Ottawa has made a conscious decision to try to bring in pieces like Ullmark and Swayman. When they got Ullmark from the Bruins, Ullmark and Swayman were like obviously the best goalie tandem in the NHL. Then you have Brady Tkachuk, Stützle,
Sanderson. I mean, they have a great core there for sure. And Dylan Cousins.
Yeah. And even with everything that's gone on with Matthews and what has been said in the media of like, oh, he's definitely not going to finish, or like he's definitely going to finish his deal. The Leafs had a conversation with him and he's feeling better, or like he doesn't really care if this is not going to be a turnaround quick. Like there's only so much time you have. And like, are you going to really sit around and wait to see who they bring in as a GM, who they're going to bring in as extra players? Like you really kind of have to make that push to go from a season like this to bounce straight back next year to go into playoffs is obviously not impossible, but it seems less feasible as the year goes on.
Would you say it's more likely they both finish out their contract, or at least one of them doesn't?
I feel like at least one of them won't.
Yeah, I think so. Like I going into this, I would have said Matthews is more likely to finish it out, but you may have convinced me. Like Ottawa more confident in continuing to get better. Stützle's a superstar at center. You have Jake Sanderson, Olympic gold medalist. Yeah. Ullmark will find his game. Dylan Cousins, obviously Brady Tkachuk. You have other pieces. Carter Yakimchuk, the guy who they called up, who was a top pick. We'll see. There's also like the Matthew and Brady aspect. Florida, will they be in the mix of it? Maybe he entices him. I don't know how Florida can get that done. But yeah, it's tough. Like I'm confident in Matthews. I mean, it is like we talked about a while ago. It is similar to the Quinn Hughes situation, but I also feel like Matthews has openly admitted like he's fine with the situation. He understands that teams have off years where maybe Quinn Hughes wasn't that optimistic at times in the media.
It'll be interesting to see how his rehab goes. And like, if his rehab goes well and he comes back and he plays really well, I could see it. But if his rehab doesn't go well, he comes back and is kind of a shell, not a shell of his former self, but not like we experienced kind of what you experienced at the beginning of this year where he went through pretty big slumps.
Yeah.
I have a feeling the Toronto media and the Toronto fans are not going to be as upset if he leaves. Now, as soon as he leaves, he's going to be a fucking superstar. That's just what happens.
That's what happens, baby. Let's get into the playoff race right now. I'm going to pull up my phone here because my laptop's a little jittery. So Tampa right now, the top spot in the Atlantic with a game in hand of Buffalo and Montreal. And I think Tampa holds on to that number one spot. Buffalo, Montreal, I'm begging for that first round. That would be an unbelievable matchup. Carolina, they already won the division. I think if they win one more game, it's clinched. Pittsburgh at 96 points, Philly 90. Boston's clinched. Like I know they're not clinched yet. They're 6 points ahead of the Islanders. They're in the playoffs. Boston's in the playoffs. What they've done is absolutely absurd. Maybe next week we can break down my entire season predictions and we'll go through like that. I think my 1, 2, 3 was for the Atlantic was Toronto, Florida, Tampa.
You had the Sabres out for sure.
I had the Sabres in Boston. I think 7-8 for the Atlantic Division. So I definitely had Pittsburgh last in the Metro. Pittsburgh, Philly, give me that series right now. One of the best rivalries in hockey, arguably in sports. It sucks to say I think Columbus is done. I know they're only 2 points out, but they've lost 6 in a row. Buccigross said on Spin Chicos, he thinks Werenski's just out of gas. I mean, this guy's been an MVP type defenseman for a while now. Washington is slowly kind of getting out of it. Detroit, man, they're still in it. They're 88 points with Ottawa, but I think the playoffs right now in the East, we'll get to the West, I think that this is what it's going to be. I think there's certain teams in the playoffs are getting hot at the right time, just especially like Philly. Porter Martone has been great. He had that huge O2 win against Boston. He has been a prick. His kind of draft comparison or kind of what they hope was a Matthew Tkachuk. I think that's what Craig Button said. And that's what he's been doing. His first game, he was cross-checking guys. He was getting guys' faces. He was doing exactly what we need from him. He's got some points. He's playing already on the top line. The Philadelphia Flyers fans will love that. That top three in the Landon, I'm pretty confident stays. Maybe with some interchanging between Boston and Montreal. Carolina's got the division. Pittsburgh and Philly. Pittsburgh will have that home ice advantage. Philly and Islanders will duke it out, but I think Philly stays in. Boston can stay at that spot, and I think Ottawa holds off Detroit and Columbus. I don't know what you think.
It'll be interesting to see. Like I feel like the way that it is now, the last games are so tough. Though it'll be interesting to see. I feel like the Islanders can still do it. I feel like Philly's riding a high right now, but I feel like maybe with the change in coaching for the Islanders, maybe it lights a fire. I don't know. I feel like it's going to stay the way it is. I really think so. I think the difference is between the Philly and the Islanders. I feel like Columbus is out of it for sure.
Columbus is out of it.
The Capitals are out of it. And like the Red Wings, I just don't trust.
It's every fucking year. It's crazy.
I just don't trust.
I mean, I think Steve Yzerman still has a job. I don't know if it's the right move. But we'll get to the West. I mean, Colorado already has the division locked up. Dallas, Minnesota, they're kind of duking out for home ice. Dallas has only 2 points ahead of Minnesota with the same amount of games. Pacific, Edmonton 87, Anaheim 87, with Anaheim's lost like 5 in a row. Vegas at 86, who've played better. They've won some games, but I think in those games they still haven't looked the best. Like they scored a lot against Calgary, but I think they let it in a lot, but they just played a little bit better. Utah, looks like they're in the playoffs. They're 5 points ahead of LA, so you can confidently say they're probably in the playoffs. Nashville has the playoff spot over LA, 81 points. Sharks is 79. And dude, the Blues and Jets are both still there with 78 points. I mean, San Jose lost a huge game to Nashville over the weekend. That would have been a massive win for them. Crazy to see Nashville in the playoffs. Whoever it is still going to get fucking curbed by Colorado, but nonetheless, Central's going to stay the same with maybe some changes. I think Edmonton holds on to that top Pacific spot. And Anaheim-Vegas first round is a very interesting matchup. That's something that's hard to see, but I like Anaheim in that series.
Edmonton finishes Utah, San Jose, LA, Avalanche, Canucks.
Oh my God.
Like 4 of their last 5 are fucking shitty.
Yeah, that
and like
shitty.
Mammoth, like we talked about it, Mammoth and Sharks are young teams who are going to come after you. And you have McDavid, but like, they're young teams who can score goals. And when you're pushing towards the end of the season, that's not what you want to see.
No. Yeah, so next episode 64, we'll pretty much have all the playoffs in set. I think we'll know by Sunday or Monday, but if we need to record on the Tuesday morning or something, or maybe Tuesday afternoon, we could do that. Oh, do you mornings next week? Yeah, so maybe we just record Tuesday night or something like that. We'll figure that out. But yeah, let's get into the topic that I should have said in the opener. Kind of the big news that, again, happened as soon as we done recording. Brad Treliving, right before the Anaheim game, out in Toronto. I'm not surprised, even though I thought there was a lot of reports saying that they're going to let him fix this mess. So I was definitely a little bit shocked. But I think, from what Elliot Friedman said, I think it was, he really pushed the envelope. Like Treliving, he's like, hey, like, if you guys are gonna do it, if you think you're gonna just do it now. Like, just do it now. Let's not wait till the summer. Let you guys get a head start on this. Let's not wait and drag this out. Like, let's just make the decision now. And it was done. Brandon Pridham and Ryan Hardy take his place for now. They're one of fucking 20 assistant GMs Toronto has, so they're gonna take interim. Yeah, I mean, you've heard Doug Armstrong rumors. I've heard Chris Pronger rumors. Sonny Mehta, who I think is the biggest target. He's assistant GM of Florida. I'm gonna break down his kind of professional career and just job career in general. We'll get to that later. But I want to get into Keith Pelley. Probably the worst when's the last time the Leafs have had a good press conference? Like, it seems like every press conference, everyone leaves it with, there has been zero clarity. I have no idea what he was saying. And it was the biggest waste of time. Here's some of the quotes by Keith Pelley. So, this is the funniest one of them all. Which one is this? We definitely didn't see the train coming, meaning the Buffalo Sabres and the Montreal Canadiens and how strong those two teams are, along with the likes of Detroit and Ottawa. So Keith Pelley forgot about the other teams not named Toronto and Florida. He forgot that Montreal existed. He forgot that Detroit and Ottawa existed. And sure, I'll give you Buffalo, but I didn't see the train go with Montreal. They made the playoffs last year, and they're younger, and they're just going to keep getting better. What do you mean you fucking see the train coming in Montreal? Yeah. Be better than them. What do you mean I didn't see the train coming? And then, for their next candidate, this is what drives me insane. They want their next GM to be very data-centric. They want to understand data, the importance of data, and where data is moving. And he tried to relate the rebuild of TFC to what they're looking for. A fucking MLS soccer team to what they want to look for in Toronto. Let's not do that. Let's not try and compare those two fucking markets. And the fact that he said he wants a data-centric person, we just had one. Kyle Dubas is the godfather. That's what he was known for. We had him. He described everything in what we had in Kyle Dubas. And by the way, I was on the train of getting rid of Kyle Dubas when they did. It didn't work out. There was a lot of deals that didn't make sense. Look what he's doing in Pittsburgh now. He's probably going to be up for GM of the year. But now he says he wants a data-centric GM. We said the best one on the market. And now we're going to go for Sonny Mehta. Hopefully he's a big data guy. I'll break down his career. But like, what the fuck? We just had that. So the key things I've noticed, Keith Pelley did know Montreal existed. That's strike one. Wants basically what we had in Kyle Dubas. And he also says that he's had zero involvement in team decisions. He wants to get those kind of comments out of the way because there's rumor that he's been very involved. I'm not here to be a general manager. I've only heard the opposite. By the way, I've heard, when I say heard, I mean Twitter. Yeah, but it was just
sources in the league,
Yeah, but it's just they've never had a good press conference.
I feel like whenever general managers or any type of manager does a press conference, it never goes well.
It never goes well. It again, everything he described seemed to show exactly what we have with Shanahan and Dubas. He wants a strong-minded, tough, president, which we had in Shanahan, and a data-centric Dubas, or a data-centric guy. That was like 3 years ago we had that.
Do you think they keep Berube?
No, I think he's done. I don't know, though. Like, I don't like who you hire. I mean, I would have been a big Peter DeBoer guy. But we'll see. I heard a lot of Mike Gillies, who I think was the president or GM of Vancouver, potentially being the next president of Toronto.
Good.
I'll get into Sonny Mehta. So he's kind of like the next Kyle Dubas, like this big data. So he's an assistant GM of Florida. I went down to his bio on Wikipedia. He was a professional poker player in the early 2000s.
He was the guy who I want as my head coach.
That's scratcher right there.
This guy's gonna be giving me the lineups and giving me the locks.
Give me lays. He was a statistical analysis of NHL games. He made articles and blogged about it after that. Then he worked with Phoenix and then the Devils as a director of hockey analytics. I think he was a start as like the first full-time analytics department in the NHL. So that's the music to Keith Pelley's ears. All he hears is data. He consulted with the Capitals and also 6 Major League Baseball teams. And then he was hired by the Panthers in 2020 as a vice president of hockey strategy intelligence. And he was promoted to assistant GM and head of analytics in 2023. He's the favorite. That's who Elliot Friedman thinks is the target. Again, like I said, Keith Pelley just wants data. So that's your data guy. Let's get him. And at this point, it's like, fuck it. I'm hearing a lot of rumors of Chris Pronger. Yeah, he's never been a GM, but he's been an advisor. He's worked with Florida Panthers as well. He's just kind of been a hockey mind that they've brought in. I don't think I would like him as a GM. I wouldn't hate him bringing him just as a voice. Like, he's one of the best defensive of all time, tough as nails, the culture that the Toronto Maple Leafs have been lacking. You know, like Paul Biz said on Spin Chicklets, like, he's so jealous of Boston because all the fans were saying about Boston is they were not a favorite going into the season, but they're just fun to watch. They play their dicks off. They fight. They bring you in. Their quote they say is like, they take a pound of flesh. If they're going to lose, they're going to go down swinging. And that's kind of like the proudness that they have of their team. I wish I would feel like that with the Leafs. I haven't felt like that in a long time. So yeah, a lot of turnover potentially coming with Toronto. We'll see what happens.
I got nothing for Toronto. I'm more excited about the playoffs now that they're not in it, so I don't got to fucking stress.
Yeah. Nylander, quick thing, says he'd like to remain with the Leafs past this year, but if the team decides to rebuild, not retool, that's a different story. People are panicking over this. That's not a shock. No player really wants to go through a rebuild, especially when they're in their high 20s, early 30s, and their prime. No one wants to go through a rebuild, so I completely understand that. They had a big loss to LA, 7-6 OT loss, and then they had 2 separate 2-goal leads lost. Big loss against San Jose. That was just a fucking nothing game. And then the Anaheim won 5-4-1 in overtime. Emotional game. Gudas took his lickings from Domi. I think Domi got in 2 fights. I wrote down fuck Gudas and all that respect to him for standing in there. Yeah, sure. I still don't take back what he did. Like, I still don't respect what he did. Like, yeah, I respect him for getting his ass kicked, but I'm not going to praise him and bygones be bygones. No, fuck you. Pizzetta got kicked out of the game for trying to fight Gudas, and he pushed a ref.
Pizzetta hasn't been in the lineup in fucking like 3 weeks.
Love it. Well, you got to show something. I mean, he got kicked out of the game, and he was so pissed. Cowan's looking great every game. I think he's really impressed me. He scores 10th goal the other day. I think he's looked great. I also think that Anaheim game kind of shows why they have to keep Nyes over Nylander.
Carlson said after the game.
John Carlson?
Yeah.
Or Leo Carlson? Oh, yeah. He said we should have won that game basically by 3.
He said that's a game we should win by 3. I was crying.
Yeah, so, that game shows why we need to keep Nyes over Nylander. Like, Nyes, he was cross-checking guys. He was getting in the fight with guys, putting up points. Nylander cross-checks a goalie, has Cowan defend him, and then Nylander skates away. Like, that's just, we're talking about building culture. Like, that's like Nye's career year. I think he has more points than he did last year, so he's playing great. Hopefully those trade rumors are put to sleep.
Through injuries the entire year.
Yeah, I love Nyes. Yeah, the last 2 games, Washington, Islanders, Florida, Dallas, Ottawa. Well, next week, and we'll talk about...
Lose them all.
Lose all of them. All of them. I think where are we now?
We're just outside of the 5th. I think we're in the 7th last spot.
All right. So yeah. So we'll see. Yeah. I don't know if you have anything else with the Leafs. I mean, there's not a lot of NFL talk. Maybe we can go through a quick little notes. But I'm excited to talk about the Masters.
We can get into the Masters.
Yeah.
No, the Kirk Cousins to Vegas. Apparently, the NFL is going to look into changing rules about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, I guess basically it's a 5-year deal. But it allows the Raiders right now to pay him. He's getting paid $20 million this year, but the Raiders will pay him 11.3, and the Falcons will pay the difference. So I guess it's like a sign now, pay more later. But there's something with the contract where it's like not super guaranteed. Obviously, money in the back end. So I think the league's looking into trying to, with the way that it affects the cap space and stuff. I think the league's trying to curb deals like this. But then Puka Nacua checks himself into rehab, and that's really it. There's really not much. There's some small, like Trayvon Walker got extended in Jacksonville. I think Kyer Elam got signed by the Chiefs. Trayvon Walker's extension was big. It's 4 years, $110 million. But really, fuck all going on in the NFL other than the draft's coming up.
So about the Masters week here. I'm pumped for that. First time since '94 that Tiger and Phil won't be in the Masters, so that sucks. But I won last week at the Valero. It was pretty much a pillow fight. We had 2 guys that got cut on each team, and then Harman finished better than Malnati. I'm 4-6 now. You pick first. It's Masters, baby. So now we've been kind of holding out. We haven't taken too many crazy names, but lead us off, big dog.
I will. I'll take Scotty Scheffler. He just had another baby boy. Ain't no way I'm not.
I'll take defending. I'll take Rory. I mean, obviously he's battling through an injury, but I just cannot risk the fact that you would probably take Scotty and Rory. So I'm gonna take Rory. If I didn't pick Rory, would you have picked him? Yeah, okay.
Alrighty. I got Scotty. You got Rory. Give me. Bryson's been playing well. I just don't know if I want to take him. Give me Justin Rose. I don't think I've taken him yet.
Don't think so. Just do a search in our chat here. Oh no, you have taken him. You took him for the players language.
Give me Bryson.
I was gonna choose Bryce. I should have said anything. I'll take Brooks. He's been playing better every weekend. It's just the putting, and on Masters you got to make some putts on the toughest greens in the world. But I like Brooks. I might have a heavy hitter for my third. I'm scared to pick him early again, but it's the Masters.
I don't want to go full team live, but like
Masters are the way to go, or the majors are the way to go for the live guys, obviously, right? So
I'm just doing a quick search. You said heavy hitter, and it freaked me out. You're gonna pick fucking Mike Weir. I'm between two guys, and I think I'm gonna take John.
Actually, I'm not gonna take. I was
also gonna take Xander, but I wasn't sure, so
I kind of want to hold off too. Give me Matt Fitzpatrick. He's having a good year.
All right, for the Masters, first major of the year, Ryan has got Rory McIlroy, Brooks Koepka, and Matt Fitzpatrick. I have got Scotty Scheffler, Bryson DeChambeau, and Jon Rahm. I do not see a way in which I lose unless John and Bryson just absolutely shit the bed.
You got a good squad, man. You got a good squad. I did really want to pick Xander, but
you know what the best part about being on afternoons this week is? I can watch all Thursday and Friday.
All right, man. It's a shorter episode, but I mean, not much to talk about in NFL news. And next week's gonna be a big one. Tommy didn't finish top 5, did he?
No, I lost.
You know he finished 10th though.
Yeah, that is I know. Tight. It's shit. He was 8 under at the start of the day, and I thought he was gonna go on a run.
Wait, these numbers do not add up for one. I think I've missed 2 for you, so you might be 11 and. Sorry, that's it. Really? No, that's not it. Nah, fuck you. Yeah. All right. SMI. Remember how I said how Colorado never loses to bad teams? They lost 8-6 to Vancouver, so my bet didn't hit. So Nate scored and McCarr was hurt, but yeah, Avs lost 8-6. Give me Buffalo money line on Wednesday. I think they play the Habs. No, they don't play the Habs. Who do they play? I think they play the Rangers. Sabres money line and Deline a point. That's my lock of the week.
I respect that. My lock of the week is I've got George Springer home run, Ohtani home run, Scherzer 4 pitcher strikeouts, and Werbolski 4 pitcher strikeouts.
For my bet the farm, I got Sabres money line as well against the Rangers with Tage anytime. I have the Leafs money line with Valero scoring, who's been playing great since Matthews went down. And then Oilers anytime with, Oilers money line with Savoie scoring, who's been on fire recently. And your bet the farm hit last week. I mean, it was that massive Anaheim parlay. But yeah, you hit it. There was one void. But, I mean, you still had 8 picks hit. So we'll give you that.
I got another massive one, but it's the Lightning Sabres game tonight. Okay. So I got Tage Thompson anytime. I have Kucherov a point, Gensel a point, Tage Thompson 3 shots on goal. Kucherov 2 shots on goal, Gensel 2 shots on goal, Rasmus Dahlin 3 shots on goal, and I had the goalie saves. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen over 25 saves. Bang.
Well, boys, that was a fun one. A little bit shorter, but yeah, I mean, there's just not a lot to talk about. Next week's going to be a big one. Masters Week. Excited for that. Again, appreciate all the love. It was a really fun last few weeks with all the
we should have talked
the views and everything. It was really cool, man. And yeah, so please go follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and X, as well as comment, like, subscribe on YouTube, and follow us on Spotify as well for the Buds Mafia podcast. We will see you guys next week for episode 64, where we'll talk a lot more about playoff matchups and recap the Masters. And then NFL drafts coming up in, I think, 2 weeks now. So we got that to talk about as well. All right, brother. We'll talk to you next time for episode 64.
Tavares coming out, sends it in a goal. They score! They score! Holy mackerel, they score! Morgan Riley! Mo Riley! The Leafs have won it! They're going to the second round!
Gonna run for it, he got it! And there he goes! Inside the 10, the 5!